From season 13 of So You Think You Can Dance to now the winner of season 1 of Dancing with the Stars Juniors. Guess who's on To The Point?
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
All right, you guys, welcome on into The Point with Kristyn, Burtt. And surprise, we're live. We just made a last-minute call because we have half of the winner, I guess our third of the winner, because Alan won with you guys too, of Dancing with the Stars Juniors, Season 1. We got Junior Pro, JT Church. Hey! Congratulations!
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Now, you won a few months ago, but how does it feel now that the whole world finally knows?
It's so cool. I thought it was like so fun to relive everything and watching it, and I'm so excited that it's out and that I get to I don't know, just have everyone know, and
no more
so
secrets.
Excited. No more secrets, and it was super hard, and I literally could not tell anyone, and everyone, I was like, oh, I gotta have to watch and find out. I can't tell you anything, so.
No, you couldn't. None of us could. I even had to sign an agreement with ABC, and even though I would know other people would know, I'd be like, so yeah, how about that finale? Yes, that's all anyone would say.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, but you got good at keeping secrets all summer, I imagine.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, this was really a great show, and I want to tell you that a lot of people watching the show, just like So You Think, were like, I'm not sure if the kids' version's going to work, but
yeah,
I think it worked really well.
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was super fun. I think it's going to be super new and fun and fresh, and I think it's a whole another side of Dancing with the Stars because it's with kids and it's the same format. It's so awesome.
You know what I think they did right, and they took the So You Think You Can Dance formula and kind of took it up a notch, is bringing in the pros from Dancing with the Stars as the mentors and then having the two kids dance together. And I think that teamwork of having a team of 3 really worked well for you guys.
It was super fun having Alan as a mentor, and he helped us so much, and me and Sky worked so hard, and it was just super fun having Alan as a mentor, and
leading the way.
Yeah, leading the way.
Well, let's take it back a little bit, because it's been interesting talking with some of the other juniors, because there were a couple of auditions that went on. Most of the younger kids auditioned first, and then some of the older kids had a secondary audition. Yeah. I know you were at that first audition in February.
Yes. I went to the audition, and there were so many kids there, and I was super nervous, but I just really wanted to do good, and I have been training in ballroom for almost 3 months before that, just because I really wanted to be prepared for the audition, and I knew that if I would get the job, then I would have to get my ballroom on. So
you were training with Lacey Schwimmer. I saw some lessons going on there.
Yes, yeah.
I think she is one of the greatest teachers out there right now. A lot of people are training with her.
Yeah, I feel like she's completely blown up because everyone's starting to want to do ballroom now, and she's kind of one of the go-to people to ask for. And
what makes her a good teacher for ballroom?
I feel like her style is super fun, and it makes ballroom really fun, and it's also super technical, and I just really enjoy doing it because it's fun, and I don't know, it's just awesome. She's so awesome at teaching, and
she's got a great energy too.
Oh yeah, really good energy.
And also an alumni of both shows, So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, it's super cool. Whenever I see her, I'm like, the alums back together, so funny.
And she understands what you guys have to go through on both sides, because it's not easy whatsoever.
Yeah, and then when me and my mom told her that I had gotten it, she was just kind of telling me what I needed to have done and what I needed to do, and she was just so awesome and so helpful. And
any good advice she gave you that
Yeah, she was just you really need to work super hard and to train with whoever you get, because I didn't even know how I had Sky yet, and to just train and to do your best and to be there for Sky, and
Yeah, and that's a big deal, because you don't know who you're going to get. And there was a variety of levels of dance training on the celebrity side, too. You have someone like Miles and Kenzie who have a background in it.
Yes.
And then you have Sky, who is an athlete.
Yes.
But she wasn't out there taking a ton of dance classes.
Yes, no, not at all. And I feel her being a professional skateboarder and having a lot of stamina and a lot of motivation,
strength, balance.
Balance is key, and she had so much of it, and she impressed us so much before we even started dancing.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like her core must have been strong from being
yeah.
So you probably were thinking, well, we can probably do a lot here once we give her the basics.
Oh yeah, for sure. I honestly was not really worried at all. I was like, this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna teach her how to dance. It's gonna be like, I don't know. I was just so excited that I got her, and she's so cute, and
She is really cute.
super funny, and I just loved getting to know her. And
Did you know who she was before?
no, but it's funny because my brother's a skateboarder, and when I told my brother, he was like, oh my gosh, no way, you have Sky? And I was like, you know who she is? And he was like, yeah, of course I do. Sky Brown, like, what the heck?
So
And
it was
I was
like the cool factor with your brother then.
Yeah, I thought it
great.
was like so funny because I was like, oh my gosh, that's like so cool that my brother knows who she is and that.
Do you think they put you two together knowing that your brother was a skateboarder?
I honestly have no idea. I don't know if it's a coincidence or I don't know, but it was just super fun.
Dana Katz is really smart about putting people
Yes.
together. Like I even find when I looked at like Artyom and Ariana, they had a great sense of humor and they matched each other very
Yeah.
well. Eliana and Jason, another one with like hilarious wit.
Yeah, they like brought out the best of each other. I feel like every couple was like perfect for each other almost, and it was super fun to like meet everyone and just have a great time.
I know, I called it the greatest summer camp because
Honestly though, like all of us kids got so close, and it wasn't even really like a competition. Like us kids are like competitive, but like we at the end of the day we were just like hanging out with our friends, and it was just super cool to meet all the celebs and see all of my pros that I've known from dancing. And
well, that's the crazy thing. How many of the kid pros, let's talk about the kid pros
Yeah.
first, that did you know? Because some of them you knew obviously from season 13,
Yeah.
like Jake Monreal.
yes, so I knew Jake from season 13, and then in 2017 I won mini male best dancer in Las Vegas, and Brighton Brems, she won mini female same year as
So
me.
you're there, yep.
And then Haley, she won that same year mini female in Orlando. So all of us three were best dancers the same year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I knew them from just traveling and assisting with them. And then I've also like seen Camry at convention, and
You must have known
Artyom.
Riley from auditions.
Yeah,
She was the
Riley from
account-
auditions, and from like Lindsay and all of her sisters.
all
'cause
those
I
other people on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I mean, just
yeah, it's super cool, and I thought it was so fun to like get to see everyone and like really just get to like know everyone a lot better, and I feel like we've all become such good friends, and it's like a big family.
Well, here's the funny thing. A lot of the adults that were watching the show, when someone would get eliminated, people would be sad and upset. But I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
trust me, I don't think these kids are, you know, at home like crying. They're so excited that they participated in the show. A lot of them would come
Yeah.
back week after week just to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone had a really good experience.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't make it all the way to the final show.
Yes.
Do you get that same feeling?
Oh yeah, I got like that whole vibe. Everyone, like a lot of people came back to watch us and just to support us, which meant a lot to like us and like Sky, because she made such good friends with everyone too, and it just meant a lot to us for them to come every week and like see.
I loved watching Alana in the audience. That girl
Yes.
just seemed like she got a ton out of it, was having a
Yeah,
blast.
she was like living her best life up there, and it was just awesome. I loved having her.
Yeah. And I love that Lev told me that his partner was someone hadn't danced at all. I mean, she's a chef and then is now on her dance team at school.
That's so funny.
And you can sit there and go, well, she didn't make it past the first week. It doesn't matter. It brought something to her life.
Yeah, and I feel like every kid can like take something away from it, and that like I feel like dance is gonna be something that they remember, and like the show is gonna be something they remember for the rest of their lives, because it's such a big experience, and it was such a fun thing that I like could never imagine forgetting.
And you
it's-
guys were the first first
Yes.
cast. No one can
Yes.
ever take that
Nope,
from you.
No one can ever take that away from us, and it's just really cool to like say like, hey, I was on the first season of Dancing with the Stars Juniors. Like, there's never gonna be another thing like that, and I think it's awesome.
What was the most memorable dance for you during the season?
I feel like a lot, like all of them are super memorable, but I would probably say either our Argentine tango semifinals,
Nice.
or I'd say our foxtrot, because we got the first 2 tens of the season.
I was in the audience that day.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, I was ugly crying, and I made sure that I brought the video from this one.
Oh my gosh,
You guys, I mean, here's the thing. I think it's interesting that you guys, as kids, we always sit there and discount kids for saying they're not going to be able to bring the emotion to it. You guys brought it. I was in that balcony that day crying my eyes out after
Oh my
watching
gosh,
this. This was
yeah.
so beautiful.
And it was like perfect because this week was giving thanks, and I feel like, and her little brother Ocean was there, her mom, they came from Japan just to see her dance and to come, and it was just super like emotional, and she did it for her family and also for herself too, and she did an amazing job, and I was so proud of her. And that's when I was like, wow, she's like, oh, I love her so much. Like, it's insane.
Well, you have to give yourself some credit too, because you know what? You guys are a team, and
Yeah.
obviously without Alan leading the way and you out there leading her on the dance floor, that is really important, because without
Yeah.
your support, she can't be out there doing that foxtrot.
Yes.
So you have to give yourself a little pat in the back.
Yes,
too.
I think it's really fun, and I got to do everything on the stage with Sky and just be with her, and it's just so fun to watch it again. And
Your faces, you guys had the best facials out of any team, I'm pretty sure.
no, but yeah, it's like insane, and everything's so genuine with her, and I love her so much. Like,
Well,
I can't.
Yeah, I have a good question about that, because it was always interesting watching Sky after at the judges' table. You guys are getting your comments.
Yeah.
And she would come up with these speeches like, be brave and be strong.
No, literally, like, me and Alan would not know any week that she was like gonna do that. The first week we were like, oh my gosh, like, she's gonna say something, and then she said her speech. And I think it's so important for everyone to know that just to be brave and to be strong, and to not let anyone stop you from what you love. And I feel like she can relate to that because she's a little girl and she's a skateboarder, and not a lot, like, people haven't like really accepted her for that. And I feel like she can relate to that, and she wants everyone to just push through and not let anyone stop you. And she hasn't at all.
And I bet, because skateboarding still, there are plenty of females in skateboarding. However, it's still a male-dominated
Yeah.
sport. Do you feel that sometimes being a male in dance?
Yeah, I'd say when I like first started dancing, I would get like bullied at school just for being a boy dancer, and not everyone was like, oh, like, do you do ballet or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, but I also do this and this and this and this. And they're like, oh yeah, but I mean, and then they'll like mock like that, like, you know,
The little like ballet arms,
Yeah.
and like they do a little bourrée in a circle. I know.
No, but yeah, that like little things just like get under my skin. But I feel like I've like kind of like grown a thicker skin, and just to not worry about what other people say.
Because it's about them. It's not about
Yeah,
you. Isn't that the
yeah.
funny thing?
Yeah.
But they take it out on you to make themselves feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's funny too is you're backing up your work. You're like, I'm working hard.
Yep.
I'm a runner-up on So You Think You Can Dance season 13, and now I'm the winner of juniors for season 1. You know, and that's all the work, and that's all you, because you don't
yeah.
get there if you're not a good dancer,
Yeah,
not a
and
hard worker.
I worked so hard for, like, So You Think and Dancing with the Stars, for everything, and I don't know. I feel like when people say things, I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. Like, I get your opinion, but like,
You're living your truth.
Yeah.
You can live in whatever their truth is.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. And I know that everyone's entitled to their own opinion too, and I respect that. So
Yeah, and it's not, there's no point. I never engage, honestly, because when I sit there, I go, they must be feeling really crummy to have to come and hit back at me. And I'm like, I don't need to make them feel crummier.
yeah, especially like little kids too. Like, I don't.
So when I sit there all the time, I'm like, I don't get this at all. I thought
Yeah.
Kenzie took a lot of heat for doing the show because people felt like she had too much training. I'm like, but Dancing with the Stars wanted her. She decided to do the show. And I think what's fair is that she's lived in her sister's shadow a lot.
Yes.
And this was an opportunity for her to grow, whatever that
Yeah.
means. And, you know, I think for her saying that I finally like dance again,
Yeah.
that's her journey.
Yep, that's all. And I feel like everyone had like a different like story and different reason why they wanted to be there. And I thought that everyone that wanted to, like, all the kids were just so amazing, and they all had like such amazing stories, and just
And Akash, like, coming out
Yeah.
there. Listen, I mean,
Yeah.
he was someone that was really kind of out of left field in terms of becoming, he wasn't an athlete. He's someone that, you know, is a great speller, really smart kid.
Oh yeah.
And he embraced it all. He just went out there
Yeah.
and performed all the time.
Yeah, and I feel like he used like his smarts to like his advantage, because he literally like he picked up the choreography so fast, because he's like, and then when he would tell him something about it, he'd be like, oh, and then she would ask him like, oh, like, what is this, like, and what do you need to do? And he's like, oh, you need to like lead with your heel, and like he'll say everything, and he'll take everything in. And I think that was really like cool for him, because he got to take everything in and just
He
do it.
computes fast. That's what it is.
Yeah,
He's
he really
so bright.
does.
I always say I don't know what I would do with a kid like that at
Oh my
home.
gosh,
He'd
yeah.
outwit me every day.
Yeah, I like, it's insane. And every time I would say something, he'd be like, actually, it's pronounced like this. I'm like, got it. Got it.
He knows it all. He's great.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing to have you here today. And I was really thinking about this because I have so many teeny tiny photos of you from 2 summers ago when we first met on an incredible journey of So You Think You Can Dance, the Next Generation.
Yeah.
Do you remember deciding to audition for the show? Like, what inspired you?
Yes. Well, I was at a dance convention called Nouvelle Dance Convention, and this is one that like Travis Wall works on.
Ray Leeper, I think.
Yes. And Mark Meismer and all of them. And I was at one, and actually Jeff, the producer,
Jeff Thacker.
he was like almost like he was like there to scout out kids to ask to audition, and he was watching. And I did my solo, and he just so happened to be like watching. And then when I came off, he like wanted to talk to my mom, and my mom's like, "Who are you?" And then he's like, "I'm the producer, So You Think You Dance." Then she's like, "Oh, got it." And then
I'll listen.
Oh yeah. And then the whole weekend he was just watching me dance, and he at the end he just said he wanted me to audition, and he was telling me, my mom, that he wanted me to audition and go to Chicago or any city that could. And it was like pretty hard too, because this was like only like maybe a few weeks before the audition.
So you really had to prep quickly.
Yes, yeah. And so that was kind of stressful. And then also like airfare and stuff, we were like, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. We don't know if he's gonna have a good shot of like getting it or like getting to the academy. And
Did you audition in Chicago?
yes, I did.
So it was Chicago, and you had your little orange bow tie and your little orange suspenders, and you were just 10.
Just turned 10.
Just 10. So you were like 9, a late 9, early 10.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a really big thing to audition for at that age.
Yeah, and I feel like there were like kids that were auditioning that I have looked up to. Like, I'm that kind of dancer that like if I'm not dancing or doing something dance related, I'll be watching dance on like YouTube or something. And so I'll see these dancers, like these kid dancers, and then when I like go to the audition, I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this person's here, like what the heck, oh my gosh. And so, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, Mom, that's like so and so. And she's
Was
like,
there any
what?
dancer you absolutely loved at the time and you saw in person?
Yeah, when I saw Sophia Lucci at the academy, I was like, you are kidding me. Like,
The turning
she's here?
queen.
What the heck? Yeah, Guinness World Records, like what the heck?
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I just, everyone there, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And that just made me like even more like almost like stressed out and like kind of nervous, just because I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know if I have a good shot against them. Like,
How do you keep yourself calm and collected? Because if you're starting to
and stuff, and like when I messed up the Broadway combo, I like forgot it on stage, and that was like the worst ever. And I had never done anything like that before. I'd never forgotten like anything on stage. And
Do you remember what it was like in that moment? Because I can still see your face in that.
no, yeah,
Because you came in as a jazz. That was your specialty.
Yeah.
And then you get a Broadway number, and all of the moves just, they leave your brain. I've had it
Yeah.
happen to me before too.
No, and the thing was that like when we were learning the combo and we were like learning it and like running it, and the All-Stars came in, and like Robert was looking at him, he was like, oh my gosh, like you're so good. And like I was feeling super confident because it was like my specialty, and I was super excited to just go out and do it. But the thing is, like going back to that thing about worrying about yourself, and I was like, I don't know, when I like made my friends, I was like, oh my gosh, like go. And like when they're on stage, I wasn't like even running it in my head, which I will go back, I'm like, how was I not doing that? Like,
Yeah, run
that's
the
just
combo, mark it if you have to on
mark
the
it in
sidelines.
chair.
Mhm.
Yeah, and of course I was also the last person to go, like the last like couple to go. So I was like, oh gosh. And I went up there, and I like the first like few like counts of 8 were pretty good, and then I just blanked out. And then also my partner, she like kind of blanked out too.
Was it Phoenix you were with at the time?
No, that was for hip hop. But she like forgot it too, and we both looked at each other, and we were like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
What do we do?
Yeah, and that happened, and it was like so like you can't not like notice it. Like it was so like out of the blue, and I was so upset, and I was like, but I also like really wanted to like finish the combo, just because I was like, no matter what, just finish the combo, just finish the combo.
Strong.
Yeah, finish strong. And I did my jazz hands and finished it off. But then I was like, I came off and I started like bawling, crying, because I was like, oh my gosh, like my opportunity's ruined. I messed it up. I'm not gonna get it back.
Listening to those comments from the All-Stars after,
Yeah.
I've got to imagine that you were a little bit nervous hearing all of that.
Oh yeah, I was like super nervous, and I don't even know. I thought I was gonna be like the one to go, and I thank Robert so much because he saw like something in me that like he wanted to hold on to, and that when I was in like rehearsal and he like was watching me, he was like, "You're so amazing, like you were so good, and I want to like keep you because you have something special." And I just remember being like, "Oh my gosh, like what the heck?" I was like, I don't even know why he's keeping me. I messed up the combo, like, and no one else did too. And I was
But these
like,
are the lessons, though. Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
like the
Because
things that I've learned, like it's insane. Like, and I'll take things like that with me everywhere I go.
someone gives you an opportunity and you have to think, now I have to deliver. This
Yep.
next round, I have to show up 100%.
yeah.
Maybe more than that. Maybe
Yeah.
110.
Oh yeah, I was. And then when he put me through to like the next round of the academy, I was like so ready to like redeem myself, and I was also really nervous too because I was like, now I'm like kind of on the bottom, and I have to like kind of like prove myself almost.
Sometimes that's a good place to be, though, because
Mhm.
everything is up.
That's true.
Everything is up from
That's
there.
very true.
Yeah.
And then the next round I think was like hip hop, and I was with Phoenix, which was super exciting.
Phoenix is
because-
great.
Yeah, she's awesome, and it was super cool because she is a hip hopper. So I was like, okay,
Did Nappy Tabs do that routine?
yes,
Oh, good.
yeah. So when I got her, I was super excited because she is a hip hopper, and I was like, okay, so this is gonna be good because she's a hip hopper, and if I ever have any like troubles or anything, I know she's gonna help me because she's super sweet. And yeah, we went out there, we did our best, and made it through the next round, and it's just insane, like looking back to it, like 10 years old, like
I know, and to find out, which is funny because life comes full circle, the final two choices for Robert were you and Sage, right?
No, actually, wait.
Was it you and Sage?
No, Josiah.
Josiah. So the round before that was
Yeah.
you and Sage.
Yeah, you and Sage. Josiah.
So you guys, interestingly enough, had you sit there and you come right back and you wind up working
seriously.
together. And I think that's a good thing to remember in the industry.
Dance world, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes one person will get the job, the other person won't, and then you'll
Yeah.
wind up working together.
Yeah.
2 or 3 jobs down the
Definitely
line.
don't want to burn your bridges, that's for sure.
No,
because-
you want to be good and friendly and
Yeah.
kind and
Yeah, for sure.
That's really important.
So yeah, but I just remember getting through the hip hop round, and I was like, oh my gosh, like yes. And then next was Travis Wall, and I was like, oh my gosh, Travis Wall, like oh my
The
gosh.
Travis
yeah,
Wall.
the Travis Wall. And I was super excited, and it was contemporary, and I feel like I really had to prove myself too for that because the other boys like Sage and Josiah and everyone else, they had been contemporary, and they were auditioned as contemporary, and they made it through like as
And
contemporary.
they were bigger and taller at that time.
Yes.
And so you have to sit there
Yeah.
and reach and emote even bigger than they are.
Yeah, and I feel like that was something that I had to do, like, even when I was with Robert on the live shows, when, like, we did Stand in the Light, the first number, I had to dance so much bigger than I normally did because Robert is so tall and he dances so super big, and so I had to make it look like I was dancing just as big as him, and that was pretty good challenge because
It's a big one.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like, if you just look at Robert, he like dances so big, and like all of his like reaches and everything is like amazing, and I like look up to him so much, and
You're
even now.
Great role model.
Yeah,
so
he
he
is.
chose you in the end to go to the live shows, and he
Yeah.
took a little bit of heat for this.
Yes, he did.
And we were talking about this before the show. I did
Yeah.
an interview with Nigel, and he was like, I think Robert made the wrong decision
Yeah.
before the live shows had begun.
Yep.
That first live show happens, and
Yeah.
I was there, and there's a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
But Nigel kind of took everything back and apologized, didn't he?
Yeah. I was after the dance, I was like, okay, and then he was like, I just want to say like I'm sorry, and I feel like Robert made the right decision to choose you, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like you did not just say that, and then
Did that
I-
create some doubt, though, going into the live shows?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no one thinks I can do it. Like, I need to prove myself, and like, I just like really want to do good, and like that adds extra pressure to me because like 10-year-old kid like going out on live TV doing a dance is like really like hard and like a lot of pressure into it. And I just went out and like did my best, and he apologized, and I was literally like, I was like, I was getting like really emotional. I like started crying because I was like, oh my gosh, like
Adults can make mistakes.
yeah.
Robert didn't make a mistake.
No, he didn't.
I've always said to Robert, I'm like, you go with your gut. He went with his gut when he picked Taylor in season 14.
Yep.
He went with his gut when he picked you. And he comes from an emotional place on it. He's not always looking at, is every toe pointed? Is every pirouette being hit?
Yeah.
Because he knows that you need to bring that extra something special to
Yes.
the table, especially
Yes.
when you're on that stage.
Live shows, yeah. I feel like he was like looking for someone that like had like personality and that could like also dance pretty good too. And I feel like when I was like getting into the live shows, I feel like he had like so much to teach me, and I feel like he helped me grow so much, and I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done for me. He was like basically like the person that like made like my start, and like
Yeah, he discovered you essentially,
Yeah,
and sort of. I
yeah.
mean, Jeff got you to audition, and
Yeah.
then Robert kind of broke you out there on live TV.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
yeah.
I want to talk about this mirror dance because this is one of my personal favorites, and
Yeah,
it won
mine too.
Travis Wall his first Emmy, which was a big deal.
It was
And I was there when he won the Emmy, and I will tell you, I screamed pretty loud when it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Did you know how special this piece was when you were performing it? Because I saw this live in studio
Yeah.
twice because you did it for the finale, and
Yeah.
I was like screaming. It was so good.
Yeah, like when he was like explaining the story, I was like, okay, like I kind of got it, but then I was kind of like, okay, like when we learn it, I think it'll like make it more easier to explain.
It'll come to life.
Yeah, and like especially when this whole first section where he had to mirror each other and everything had to be like same foot, same arm, same timing, same everything. And I feel like that was pretty stressful too, because I was like, if I mess up, then that's not going to be good. Because,
And it's a Travis Wall piece.
Yeah, it's Travis Wall piece. I'm like,
And he was asking a lot of you.
yes, he was. And I feel like he challenged me a lot, and he just like did like I don't even know how to say. Like I feel like he was just challenging me so much, and he helped me grow this whole experience, and all of his choreography and everything is just amazing, and he never settled for anything like less than awesome. And I think this piece was super awesome.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that first section with the mirror too that you just saw, and you see the camera circling around. There are two people. There's a guy with a camera and a
Yeah.
person making sure the steady cam doesn't fall off stage,
Yeah.
circling you. So you also have to sort of dance around that. And a lot of adult dancers get confused by it, and you have to sit there at 10 and figure this all out too,
Yeah.
and like ignore them, focus on Robert and what's happening with the mirror.
And I feel like it was also like when I'm looking back at it, like everything else was like pretty much like black except for the judges panel, and like there's just this big stage right there, and I was just, I don't even know how I did it, honestly. Like it's insane, and like trying to like learn that and do that at like 10 years old, it's just, I don't even know. Like,
Do you have memories of that summer?
yeah, I do. I like have like flashbacks, like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like
I just
I
look
can't believe
now.
it
I'm like,
happened still.
you and Emma were so tiny. So tiny.
gosh, yeah.
Emma Hellenkamp.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the four of you, it was Tate and Keita and you and Emma in that finale.
Yeah.
What a wonderful sort of finale that wound up
Yeah,
being.
it really was. It was like us four had gotten like super close, and we like my goal, or when I was like getting like further in the competition, I really wanted to make it to the finale. And when I made it to the finale, I honestly like did not care if I got fourth, or I don't even know if I like got second, which I did, and I didn't even care. I was just like, I just am so happy that I made it to this like point in the competition.
You did every show.
Yep, and I did every show. Like that's so awesome.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, you
Yeah.
did every single show. You weren't eliminated halfway through. You had the opportunity to dance every single week.
Yeah, and I thought that was awesome, and I feel like all of us were super close, and we were just super excited for each other and what was gonna happen out of that.
Now, you were living in Virginia at the time.
Yes.
How did you go home after a crazy summer like that? Because this was your first really big experience.
Yeah, this was like my first thing where people started to like notice me, and like no one really knew who I was as a dancer, like outside of like Virginia. And when I came back, everyone was like, oh my gosh, like you got second, and I was like there for the whole summer, and I missed like school, like I missed like some school.
Yeah, because it
too.
continued into September, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And I like missed some school, and then I came back, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh!" And just like, it was insane. Like, it was really insane.
How do you keep yourself grounded? Because you have to keep yourself focused.
Yeah.
You still have school. You still have to go
Yeah.
back to dance class after all of that.
Yeah, and like, even when I like did it and after everything was over, I still had to like focus on like my dancing and like still growing and like also doing school, because school is super important to me, and like I want to like have like a degree and like get everything like done that I need to do for that, because school comes first. Even if I am like a dancer and that I'm on like these things, I still think that school's super important and that I need to go and like learn.
Get a great education.
Yeah.
It will help you in the long run.
Yes, it will, yeah.
My mom used to, when I would have rehearsal, if I had like a final that week, she would tell my teacher she can rehearse until 5 o'clock. Then I'm taking her home because she needs to study, and she'll be back tomorrow to dance class or rehearsal. But she has to get this French final over with.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, I haven't really done like finals yet, or like I'm starting to, but like when I have to like study for them, I'm like, oh gosh, like sometimes I just like, oh, I just want to go to dance, and like this kind of stinks. But then I'm also like, oh gosh, kind of like buckle down, because if I get bad grades, then that's not gonna work, and then I can't dance. Like, if my mom and like my dad are like kind of strict about that, like if I don't get like really really good grades, then
It's a
like,
privilege to dance.
yeah, it is a privilege, and like I feel like I have to like almost like every time I have to like prove myself, I might be like,
Your mom must know my mom, because my mom is the same way.
no, yeah, for sure. And like to them, like school always comes first, and education is super important, and it's important to me too. So
Is it been hard for you? Because I know a lot of the kids are homeschooled, and you're still enrolled in public school, correct?
yes, but I go to this school, and it's basically like a half-day school, and
good.
it goes from 7:30 to 12:30, and it's basically for kids that have like a sport that they do like a long time. There's a lot of gymnasts, wrestlers, soccer players, like et cetera, et cetera.
Focused in on
Yeah,
athletics
focused in-
or arts.
Yeah, and that like travel for it too, and that like might like not be in school for as like long, like might miss like more days than like the average kid, because they're traveling for their sport. And that like there's like gymnasts that are training for the Olympics that go to this school, and I think it's super cool because we're all like super determined, and I'm just going to get school done, and then I can go to dance, which is super fun.
I've got to imagine that also helps all of you out, because you have
Yes.
teachers that are flexible with this, and
Super
then you
flexible.
also have friends at school that understand.
Yes.
I can't do that today. I have a
Yeah.
rehearsal, or I'm going to Los Angeles, or whatever else. Everyone is in the same boat, even if they're
Yeah.
not in the same sport or art or anything else like that.
Yeah, and especially like sometimes when I was in school in Virginia, so people were like, hey, you want to like hang out or something? Like, no, I have dance, like I can't, like, and it really stinks, and like I'm like miss like birthday parties and like things like that for dance, but it was worth it in the long run. And like when I'm at this school, everyone's like, oh, like so happy for you, and like just super excited for each other, and it's just super cool. And I like going to school too. Like I did homeschooling for like one semester, and it did not work out. Like just did not work out at all, and I was so behind in school, and like it was just insane. So then
I think it's important for you to say that, because homeschooling's not for every kid.
no, it's really not, and I feel like it really wasn't for me. And like especially like with everything that I was like doing with the program, and like I don't know, it just like things added up, and I was just not working for me. And my mom was like, okay, you're like almost 2 months behind, like, and if you like don't like buckle down, then you can't like graduate, like, because you have to get it done in a certain amount of time. And I would be having to work all summer long and
not fun.
every single day, and I knew that wasn't going to happen if I had already been 2 months behind. And also, if like my brother was getting Christmas break, I'd be having to work every day.
That's miserable.
No, it really is miserable, and like it would take so long for me to get a day of school done, just because like I would lose focus just like that. Like it's insane.
Your family made a huge move from Virginia
Yes,
to
they did.
Arizona.
Yeah, we moved from Virginia to Arizona to like be closer to LA, to have me and my brother have more opportunities, because even like with my brother, skateboarding is huge in Arizona, and it's like more of a like real sport that people
Also better
do.
weather.
Yeah, also
year-round.
super better weather, because in Virginia it would rain for like weeks on weeks on weeks, and he would never be able to go outside and skate. And it's super good weather for him, and he loves it, and yeah.
So it was a good move for everyone.
Yeah, it's a good fit for everyone, and I feel like we're all super happy in Arizona.
good.
And when I come to LA, it's it's a lot easier, especially like the drive's like only 6 hours, which like may seem like a long time, but like sometimes it's better than paying like thousands of dollars for airfare every time.
Expensive.
It's super expensive. And as good as I love coming to LA, like my mom and me, like we kind of just like, I mean, like I kind of would move here sometime, like to LA sometimes, but my mom's like, nope, like we just bought a house in Arizona and like we can't like have a big house in LA because everything's so expensive.
Your big house in Arizona will shrink immensely in Los
Literally,
Angeles. I will
though.
tell you, yes.
Yeah, and I also like being away from like kind of everything and
Yes.
just having my own like space and having my own room and just everything.
And I think it's important too. You know, the business is always here. Like Los
Yeah,
Angeles is
it's
not going
always-
anywhere.
Nope, it's not.
And going back and having time to decompress and have a normal life and just be JT, not JT like, you know, the Mirrorball Trophy winner, which is amazing. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I think it's important to always stay true to who you are.
Yes, and I feel like it's always like good to go back home and just like be a normal kid and
Have
just
to make your bed.
Yeah,
and-
it's super. I
Yeah.
think that's important. Like just to be like a normal kid and like I don't know. Those things are important and yeah.
Well, they'll make you, as you know, get older too, it keeps you really grounded. It keeps you
Yeah.
focused on the work. And I think what has impressed me so much is how hard you've worked on your dance. The year after you did So You Think, we were seeing a lot of videos, I think, from some of the conventions and some of your solos. Al Blackstone, I know, did a solo for you.
Yeah.
That was great. And I'm like, look at how good. Like you were just getting better, better, better. I
Yeah.
could tell that you were
Thank
really
you.
working on your technique.
Yeah, I was really buckling down, and especially like I still had like something to prove, and I was like, you know, like if I'm coming off of this, and I have to work even harder to get better and better, like
Because
every
it's easy
single-
just to say, I was on TV. I don't need to go back to class.
and I didn't want to be like a one-hit wonder, and I still wanted to be known for something and being a really good dancer outside of So You Think You Can Dance.
Can we talk about Mandy more? Because I feel like she's
Yes.
been very influential in your career
Yeah,
as well,
she's
outside
been like a
of
really
Robert.
big role model to me. Like she is the one that did that first dance Day in the Light with me and Robert, and she is just so amazing, and I look up to her so much as a choreographer, as a person, and everything. I just like love her so much.
She's brought you on Dancing with the Stars
Yes.
before juniors even began.
Yeah, and all of her opening numbers and everything are so like well thought out. She has like such an amazing mind. She's literally a genius.
No one
And-
choreographs better for camera when it comes to large group numbers. I think you did a Disney night, I remember with
Yeah.
Alfonso. Did you also do the
Yes.
Christmas one?
Yeah, I think I did like the finale.
The finale, yeah,
Yeah.
which was it had a Christmas theme, I guess. Yes,
Yes.
with the screen and the wall, and
Yeah.
yes, which she won an Emmy for, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think that she's amazing to me because she works very well with adults, but she works very well with kids too.
She
I don't think she
does.
talks down to you guys at all.
No, she expects just as much from us as she does with the adults. And when we're like giving corrections, like she's super like really like straightforward with everything. And like I think that's also important because she doesn't really like sugarcoat anything, and she wants to get everything done. And like when it's time to buckle down, we gotta buckle down and focus. And all of us kids were super focused through the whole thing because we wanted to get it done. And it was just super fun to like learn everything. And the group dances were so fun, and
The
just
group
even
dancers are always great.
they're always so fun and just like having a good time.
And I do what I love about her. I knew when she was involved in juniors, and I knew you had auditioned. I'm like, there's no way they won't like bring JT to this cast. I was like, that has to be. I'm like, Mandy loves him.
Yeah.
I know she enjoys working with you so much.
Yeah, I love her so much. Like every time I get to work with her, it's like truly like a blessing because she's so amazing, so smart, and I don't know. I just love her so much. She's awesome.
And a great judge.
Yeah, she's a really great judge too. She's awesome.
I appreciated the comments that they gave everyone.
Yeah.
And I think some people know this, some people don't, but Robert, of course, was working behind the scenes with.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine that also probably made you a little bit calmer. You're like, Robert's
yeah,
here, I'm
for
good.
sure. Yeah, like it was super cool because even like he was even on like Dancing with the Stars, like working with me. It was just like so fun because I'm like, oh, Robert's here. Like, get to see Robert.
I know it's been this kind of
Yeah.
continuous thing where you've
Yeah.
had a couple years of being able to work with
Yes.
Robert and continue that
Yeah.
friendship
Yeah, exactly.
and not just text and be like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was super cool. I get to see him because I don't really get to see him like a lot because he's super, super busy.
Tell me about it. I've been trying to get him on the show.
Yeah, like
And it's been impossible, but I saw you guys have the same agent, and who is the
Yeah.
nice Lisa, and Lisa's like, I'm
Love Lisa.
determined in 2019 to get him on this show, but we
Yeah.
have to wait until after he does Rent because he's working on Rent right now.
Yes, he is.
So he's
Yeah,
busy.
it's awesome.
But we like these
Yeah.
reasons. He's super busy
Yeah,
because he's
That's
so talented.
yeah, he's amazing.
So where do you go from here? Because you just won this Mirrorball trophy. We've been sitting on this secret for a long time. What are the next steps for you? I know you've been doing some of the conventions and you're a special guest artist and
I just think that I want to really continue to do ballroom like a lot and really focus on that and get even better because like ballroom is like so hard. Like if no one knows, like ballroom is literally so hard, and I thought that Sky picked it up super well, and even all the kids, like it's super hard to like pick up the choreography, let alone like do all the hip action, which some people might.
Weight shifting, sometimes it's a heel lead, sometimes it's a toe lead.
Yeah,
jive, you're on the ball of your foot.
Yeah, kicking it's insane, and I really am like determined to like get better at ballroom and to, because like no one's really ever like perfect at ballroom. You can always work on something, and especially me, I really want to like work on my technique in ballroom and to just work a lot on that. And
are you interested in competing? Because I know some of the kids are competing.
Yeah, some of the kids are competing, and I think that's super awesome, and I feel like it'd be super fun to do. I just need like a partner, but I don't know. But
do you have time? You're so busy.
No, yeah, and that's also super hard too because like all the time and stuff that it takes. I don't know. And I also have like commitments with my dance studio like back in Arizona. I'm like, that might be hard, but I mean, I love ballroom and it's super fun to watch. It's awesome that kids are competing and like doing their thing, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Eliana, I just watched. She looked really good out there.
She's doing pro-am. It's so awesome.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. She's awesome.
So are you going to go back to class now? Back to dance class? Back to training?
Yeah, back to training and everything. I think that's like the next step for me, just like consistent training and ballroom and other styles too.
That's incredible. Are you a tapper at all?
Yes, I actually have been working on my tap. This past weekend, I just did Radix Dance Convention in Anaheim, and Nick Young was there. And
great tapper.
Yeah, he's an awesome tapper, and he did work on So You Think You Dance too. And he's super awesome, and I got to work on my tap with him, and he's so awesome, and yeah.
Yeah, I feel like tap is like the next, everyone's had to work on ballroom on So You Think, but after they kind of threw everyone for a loop this year on season 15 with tap, I'm like, everyone better be in tap class. That's what I keep telling everyone. Go get your tap shoes back on your feet.
And it also helps a lot with musicality and things like that with the music. And
really good point.
Yeah, it's a good thing to like have in your back pocket.
I'm a terrible tapper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it, and
you'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. And like, I feel like my goal is to like become like good in all styles until like I could like do like ballroom and like hip hop and like also like contemporary and things like that. And I think it's super important because you never know what someone's gonna ask of you, and I always want to be prepared for every situation. That's,
auditions are crazy.
Yeah, like when I go to audition, like you gotta have like every shoe that you have because you never know what they're gonna ask you.
That's right. It's super important.
Yeah.
What are your dance goals for 2019?
I mean, I honestly haven't really thought about like my dance goals,
except for season 2, right?
Except for season 2. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But I just feel like my like dance goals for 2019 are just to like, again, like become like super consistent in ballroom training and to have like be super confident in that and to like, I don't know. I don't even know.
You haven't thought about it yet.
No, not really. But I'll make sure to tell you when I.
Yeah, once you have your dance goals, you can just slide into my DMs and be like, here's my list.
Yes.
And I'll read it off in a 2019 episode of To The Point.
Yes.
And you're turning 13 soon, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, so crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'll be 13 in January.
That's great.
That's insane. I literally like, I don't even know. I like don't want to grow up like at all. Like, I love
You're
being a kid.
doing great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're
It's
doing
just
great.
so insane. Like, I want to be a teenager. Like,
I know, but you're working and you're focusing, and this is a good ride. This is a really good ride. I think that's what's so great.
Yeah.
And do you think that your goals will take you as an adult? Are you thinking choreography? Are you thinking?
Yeah. My like things that I want to do like when I get to an adult, I definitely want to go to like college and maybe like get a degree in like dance and like maybe like business or something.
Yes, do both. I'm telling you right now, do both.
Yep, I feel like a double major would be super cool.
I'm for that.
Yeah, and then also like doing work in LA a lot, commercial work and even choreography too. I think all of those things are super important to have as like a dancer. And
I'm going to put a school on your list to look at. You've got some years to think about it though. USC, Kaufman School of Dance.
Yes, no, that's literally like one of the ones that I've been like wanting to go to and that like have like a really good dance program.
Great dance program. Beautiful facility, incredible teachers,
Yeah.
and the dancers are working a ton. So.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, that was one of the ones that I had like heard about, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was like perfect for me.
So I'm putting it on, just put it on your list.
I will. I
Yeah.
will.
And
I've been thinking about it too.
They
so.
have their first graduating class this year, and Mikhail Baryshnikov is their commencement speaker. I was like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
They're bringing in some heavy hitters. So
Yeah, they are.
it's a
for
big
sure.
one. Well,
Yeah.
JT, thank you so much for taking the time out to do this.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. This is like so fun, and I think this was totally overdue and totally needed because I love talking to you, and you're just so awesome. And yeah.
You're the best.
Aw, thank you. You're the
I
best.
know you're the best. No, we could sit here all day. You're the best.
No. Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
No, but it's really been a joy for me watching you grow, work so
Thank
hard,
you so much.
and have all the success. Because I
Yeah.
will always say that all of my I call them my season 13 babies.
Yeah.
All of you guys just
Yeah, you've been here since like my beginning pretty much, and I think that's super awesome, and I'm so thankful for you and everything that you've done for me. And yeah,
I love you, JT.
I love you too, Kristyn.
All right, so if everyone wants to follow you on social media, if they're not already doing so, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, which is basically like my most used one, JT_church, and Twitter.
Twitter. It's
And
JT.
also
and
Twitter.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I don't use
So
it that much,
yeah,
but it's there.
Go follow me if you're not already, and yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. We love it.
Aw, thank you.
All right, you guys, we'll be back with one more episode of 2018, believe it or not. So we'll see you guys all next week. And of course, don't forget to check out Dance Network for all your latest dance news. And we thank Popcorn Talk for hosting us this week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.